Oh, welcome back. We are hearing from brides in Houston to Dallas to Rockport who tell us after they spent thousands of dollars for a wedding planner, their perfect wedding day was ruined.
Each couple tells us they hired the same wedding planner from Spring to make their day go smoothly. Instead, they claim the woman took their money and never showed up. KPRC2's Rilwan Belogan shares what he's hearing from the wedding planner.
I'm Ricky Underwood, Crystal's husband. Gave this lady around $6,000.
My name is Lindsay and I live in Fort Worth. I paid the wedding planner a total of $2,076.
Hi, my name is Brittany. I am in the Dallas area. I had paid her $1,000 to decorate.
Each of these newlyweds claimed the same Spring woman agreed to be their wedding planner, but when the big day came, she got cold feet.
You know, we've already paid in full for our decorator, caterer, and DJ, over $6,000. And then that day we had to pay another probably around $5,000 or more to get everything there so quickly to at least have a wedding.
As policy, we aren't naming the company or the owner since she hasn't been charged, but I did reach out.
Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
But no response. I sent a text message and got this in return. Quote, I have an agency. The money doesn't go to me at all. The money is paid to the responsible vendors. Crystal Underwood tells me she tried getting vendor names and phone numbers months ago, but never did.
We paid her. We didn't pay anybody else. There was no other vendors. She wouldn't even give us vendors' names.
All of the newlyweds tell me they're considering joining together by going to small claims courts. And if that fee is high enough, they may do all of this through the civil courts process. The wedding planner owner has yet to give me the names or phone numbers of all the vendors she claims are responsible for all of this. In Spring, Rilwan Belogan, KPRC 2 News.
What a mess. So to help us dig deeper into the tips that you should consider when hiring a wedding planner, Leah Napoliello, Vice President of the Better Business Bureau of Greater Houston and South Texas, is joining us via Zoom. Good morning, Leah. It's good to see you.
Hi, good morning. Good to see you too.
So what is the first thing that you recommend to do before you hire a wedding planner?
You should check them out first. So there are many resources online. If you do an online search, the business name and the person's name, see if anything comes up. Do a search on social media as well. And also check on sites like the Better Business Bureau at bbb.org and see if you can find any possible complaints or customer reviews, whether negative or positive, on a wedding planner. And take that information to heart, because what other people have experienced when hiring a particular planner may be what you experience too. So it's important to do that background research ahead of time.
Yeah, and BBB is clearly the most credible source that you can go to. But I think a lot of us are doing research in people we hire every day by going onto Facebook and Yelp and Google and seeing what other people are saying in their reviews. But then what questions should we then ask that vendor to make sure that there's somebody we really still want to be paying our money to?
Yeah, you should definitely interview the wedding planner, have them meet with you, and ask them questions like, how long have they been in the business of wedding planning? And ask them to show you examples of the work that they've done as well. And you want someone who has had experience and knows all the potential issues that could arise during an event like a wedding. Also, you want to ask how do they charge for their services? What do their services cover? And do they charge extra for things like mileage or any supplies for the event? So all of that information should be discussed in advance before you hire.
Okay. You know, I've done this before, gotten married, and for your wedding planner, you do have to sign a contract. So what are some of the details that you should make sure that contract has in it so that you don't end up, getting out money?
You should make sure that it shows the cost, the breakdown of all the costs that are involved, and also the plan, the time frame to pay for everything. Oftentimes there's an initial deposit, and then you may pay additionally as you go with the planning process. So that needs to all be in writing. Also, if there's any issues with may have to cancel or reschedule, you want to know what the process is for that, and that should be in writing too. If you get a refund, a partial refund, or no refund, all of that should be in writing, and you should understand everything in the contract and agree to it before you sign, because you're going to be held to that contract.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's such a good point. And you typically encourage people to pay with a credit card. Why is that?
Yeah, so we encourage people to pay with their credit card because if there are any issues that arise, then you have more recourse to dispute the charges that way with your credit card company, for instance. With other forms of payment, that may be difficult or even impossible.
What other tips do you have, Leah, for anybody who's listening? And, you know, we've obviously just seen all of these couples who then were out, not just their wedding planner, but all of their vendors. So what other tips would you have for them?
We also encourage you to ask your family and friends for recommendations. So sometimes that word of mouth recommendation, if they have a great experience with a wedding planner, then you could have a similar experience. And also make sure your personality meshes well with the wedding planner you choose, because you're going to be working with this person for a while. So you want to make sure it's a good fit.
On the Better Business Bureau's website, have you seen this happen before, where it's a wedding vendor who gets reported and maybe has a bad rating?
Yeah, we have seen that in the past. We've received complaints and reviews in the past on certain planners. So that's why we urge everyone to watch out and be careful and do your research ahead of time.
Yeah, check there first. Leah Napoliello, it's always great to get your insight on this. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Sure. Thank you for having me.